Welcome to episode 27 of Cougars on Cougars. This is Jess. I'm Mary. First things first, if we got into the Big 12, yay!
Woohoo!
And if we didn't, what else is new? Yeah. We're not going to lie, we filmed this on Monday, so we don't know. The suspense is not really killing us. I think both of us are kind of on the same page. We've been here before. We might be here again. But like we said, if we get in, that's great. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, we're going to start with our notable quotable.
This is from Kobe Bryant. We heard this at the ESPYs last week, and he said, "Rest at the end, not in the middle."
Mm-hmm. And he actually said that was some advice he got from a high school teacher, and we really liked it. It's a great off-season quote.
And during season quote.
And during season. It's just a great quote always. So thank you, Kobe Bryant, for your words of wisdom, and congratulations on your retirement. The ESPYs were great. We laughed. Really we cried. Hope you tuned in for those. So we're going to start with a coaching spotlight. We haven't done one of those for a while.
No.
The last one we did was on Marino Mahe. Just shared some fun facts we found out about him. And this week we are going to spotlight our new defensive coordinator. And his name is...
Ilaisa Tuiaki.
Yes, and I mean, before we spotlight him, let's work on that pronunciation a little. Ilaisa Tuiaki. Ilaisa Tuiaki. I still struggle a little when I try and say the last name too fast, but there you have it. If you forget, just, rewind that and watch it a few times.
He'll appreciate that.
Yes, or you could call him E, because we did find out that has been a long time nickname for him. So, just act like you're on the inside. It's fine.
Coach E.
One of our favorite things we found out about him.
He was an MMA fighter.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of widely known. I don't know, but...
I don't know how... I didn't know.
Definitely different. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He seems like so soft-spoken, kind of.
Mild-mannered.
Like, keeps to himself.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
But
in the ring,
we watched a video of him fighting, and when we say fighting, we mean knocking dudes out. And we'll show that for you here right now.
And you can see Warmecki's knees are buckling. That's number 3 and 4, and I think this fight might be over, Johnny.
Oh, my God.
Oh, baby.
What a change of events. Wow. You see it right there. On the ground, Warmecki controlled it. On their feet, Tuiaki does what he does best, and that's knock people out. Knock them right out of their game plan.
See here in your Crush Combat Camp, those big right hands we talked about, but if Tuiaki would learn a little ground, this kid would be unstoppable.
He's fierce. So, and his fighting name, sorry, that's the wrong terminology, but it's Ogre 6.
That's kind of scary.
Scary, so talk about mild-mannered, but I think he was scary. See, he started fighting because he played football in college at SUU, and it seems like kind of at the tail endish of his career. In about 2005 is when he started fighting, and an article from an Oregon paper says that he started fighting because of an early midlife crisis. So we don't know exactly what that was, but apparently his brother was an MMA fighter, and so he started doing it also, going to the gym with him because he wanted extra money. So he actually had a few jobs at this point in time.
Yeah, so he was a sophomore English teacher at Kearns, and then he was the luggage handler at the airport.
Yeah. So there's 2 jobs, and then the third one, to get a little extra money. So, mixed martial arts, the article that I was reading from Oregon Live, we'll link to it. It's a really cool article. It talked about how the guys at Oregon State really liked Ilaisa as a defensive coordinator because the movements that he learned, and even after he stopped fighting, he still went to the MMA training gyms, the combat training gyms and stuff. And just the way that he can help you move your body and the movements that he knows are different than your average football coach is going to know. So always helpful to be more agile on the football field, right?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if he gets any of the players into it.
So his stint was pretty quick. I think he started in about 2005 and ended in about 2008 when Coach Gary Anderson, who was the defensive coordinator at the University of Utah, offered Coach Tuiaki a job. So that's kind of when he left the fighting scene behind him. But like I said, he still kept training at that gym. So kind of cool. So there's the coolest thing we learned about Ilaisa, and hopefully you learned some details that you didn't already know. And then we just found a few other fun facts.
Yeah, he's also a Provo kid, so he went to Timpview High.
I didn't know he went to Timpview, yeah.
Yeah, grew up down the street from Lavelle Edwards Stadium.
Special place in his heart, I'm sure.
I know.
So, and then his bachelor's degree, which he got from SUU, like we said, is in English and then physical education. So
Perfect.
suitable.
He went to the New York South mission.
And then he's married. His wife's name is, I don't know if it's Viola or Viola. Sorry, it's one or the other. And they have 6 children. So they had just gotten, I think they were kind of newlyweds and starting their family back in 2005. So they probably don't remember their dad being an MMA fighter, but I hope they've seen those videos so they know that their dad.
Yeah, and they have an even
Don't mess
split
with him.
Too. 3 boys, 3 girls.
Yeah, there you go. Ilaisa Tuiaki. Say it with us. Ilaisa Tuiaki. Okay, so we're not going to talk about the Big 12, but we are going to talk about Jimmer, and we're kind of going to talk a lot about Jimmer. We're going to do a 2-minute drill. And if you don't remember the format of this segment, we just kind of have 2 sides of an argument, and we are going to spend 1 minute on one side of it and 1 minute on the other side. So what do we got? What are we going to talk about?
We are talking about Jimmer in the NBA, which has been a hot topic recently with him in the Summer League.
Real talk.
I mean, really, it's been a hot topic since he graduated.
For 6 years or however long it's been. 6 years, right?
Yeah, 2010.
Okay, so we wanted to, I feel like BYU fans as a whole tend to be somewhat cynical just because we're kind of a comfortable mid-major, and we kind of have adopted the expect the worst mentality.
I prefer high major.
High major. Sure, call it what you want. But our breakthroughs are kind of few and far between, and Jimmer has obviously been no exception. So we saw a lot on Twitter over the weekend about how BYU fans are kind of like scared to get excited about Jimmer being good in Summer League because they kind of know their hearts are just going to get broken when he, quote, inevitably will not make the NBA again. So we're here to, put in our 2 cents. But some of the arguments, let's start with some of the arguments that we've heard for why he's not going to make it into the NBA.
He's too slow.
He's
no
too slow.
lateral quickness. Can't play defense.
You know who else is a slow white guy? JJ Redick. Just saying. He seems to be doing all right.
Half the people in the NBA play terrible defense.
White. I know.
More than half.
I know.
Everybody plays terrible defense.
So slow, defense. Some more arguments for why he won't make it.
He just hasn't been given a shot. Consistent minutes that he needs to get into a rhythm and find his shot.
That one we agree with. We think you all are pretty clear on these arguments for why he won't make it in the NBA. They've been the same for 6 years. But we want to move on to why we think he can.
He will.
He will. And this first point we have is really interesting. There was a really great Sports Illustrated article that I read over the weekend, and they kind of sat down and talked with Jimmer, and they had a really real conversation with him too.
This is Jake Fisher for Sports Illustrated.
Who wrote the article. But they spoke with Denver's head coach, and this is a quote from him, and he said, "I think what he's realized is, okay, if I'm not scoring, what can I do to help my team?" Boom.
And that's been his problem. I mean, last season he shot 18%.
Yeah.
From 3, not good.
But what is this other stat, which I find to be very comforting?
Yeah, so he said that Fredette dished 200 assists during his 40 games, so that's 5 a night with the Knicks in the D-League, Westchester Knicks, which is compared to 323 over 235 NBA games.
Okay.
That's a huge improvement.
Don't overlook that.
That's one of the things that talked about he's been working a lot on is on the pick and roll and finding open teammates and getting them the ball, and it's showed not just in the D-League but now in the Summer League as well.
Yeah, I think that was totally apparent. Another one of our favorite tweets that we saw over the weekend, and someone actually heard someone say this at Summer League, that Steph is a wannabe Jimmer. And I just laughed, and then I was like, that's true. Jimmer was Steph before Steph was Steph. So if there's a spot for Steph in the NBA, why isn't there a spot for Jimmer? Please, someone give me a good reason.
Right team.
Exactly.
That has to be it.
The most important point that at least I wanted to make is that Jimmer doesn't need any cynicism. He knows. He's been on this grind for 6 years. He knows what he needs to work on. He knows why he's not in the NBA, and he's doing everything he can to get a chance. So as fans, let's just be fans and support him and hope that he gets on a team.
Yeah, I don't understand the mentality of Jimmer, don't even try, just go to Europe. Why are you even wasting your time with the NBA? It's never going to work out.
No, and it's clearly not about money for him. This is something that he wants and that he's working for.
He's heard that his whole life.
Gosh, he doesn't need to hear it from you.
I know. So if you're a BYU fan, give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's hope that he gets in. But if he doesn't, then he'll go to Europe. He'll be a superstar. He'll make tons of money.
Yeah.
It'll just be harder to watch him play, but
yeah. But
obviously
just
we'd rather
support
have
him.
him in NBA.
And it's not over. So stop acting like it's over.
I know. We'll see. He'll probably get a training camp invite, and we'll go from there.
If he doesn't after the summer league that he had, then that's BS.
But come on, it's been so fun to watch Jimmer again.
Jimmer Mania is always fun. So the last thing, we did a little further research. So there's kind of your 2-minute drill. We picked out a few teams where we think that he could fit. Because I don't know if that's why people aren't getting it, but, like, there are a lot of teams that need an outside shooter like Jimmer or just a guard. I think he would probably be more of a shooting guard with most NBA teams, maybe a point guard somewhere. But my first pick, and where I think he would really do well, is the Bulls. They are kind of on the rise right now. They got Dwayne Wade, they got Rajon Rondo, and that's all well and good. And obviously those two are extraordinary talents, but they could really use an outside shooter to just kind of complete their team. I feel like an outside shooter is the missing piece for them. Hello, enter Jimmer.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. Jake Fisher said in an interview in Sports Nation he thought the 76ers, and I've heard that a lot. I mean, they're like the worst team in the NBA, so
they're
why
in the
not?
NBA.
Give them a
what
shot.
do they have to lose?
I know.
Him and Jahlil Okafor?
Yeah.
I could
I
get
love
behind
that.
that.
Yeah, I know.
The Nuggets. So the team that he's playing with in Summer League, and we've heard both the head coach and the GM for the Nuggets say that they think he deserves an opportunity. So
Just not
hello,
there for some reason.
give him an opportunity if you think he deserves one. So their starting point guard only averages 12 points a game. Their starting shooting guard averages 2 points a game.
Yeah, Jimmer could do better than that.
Yeah, and he could totally start at shooting guard. So I think that's where he was starting for Denver in the Summer League. So they could give him a shot.
Yeah, I feel like with the progress he's made in his game, with the things he's been working on where he can contribute other than shooting, I feel like a team needs to give him a shot, and that he could actually, I think it'd be different this time.
He just needs consistent minutes to prove it. Our last pick was Oklahoma City. Durant's gone. You have a scoring void. Their starting shooting guard averages 3 to 4 points a game. So if you're looking for more points, and obviously that's not what every team is looking for, but Jimmer is willing to be that sixth man. We're not saying put him in your starting lineup.
He just wants to be in the NBA.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to be a superstar.
And there are spots for him. So there you go.
Sticking with the Jimmer theme, we have Tasha Sabey here. She's at Tasha Lynn 19 on Twitter. You can follow her if you don't already, which you should.
You should. Big Jimmer fan. You might recognize her from our Boring Jimmer video. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's famous. So we invited her on to tell us 3 things, and these are Jimmer related. So her 3 favorite Jimmer memories. So we'll let you take it away.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll do countdown. So I'll start with number 3.
Great.
So just kind of a little background into this. Most people are surprised when they meet me and find out how big of a BYU fan I am. I didn't grow up a BYU fan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, like, I kind of was a sports fan. Most of my family went to BYU. I went to BYU, but, like, I just never really got into it.
What?
I know. Crazy, isn't it?
Well, you were there?
Yeah. I mean, I went to, like, the football games and stuff.
Okay.
So I went to things, but I wasn't, like
fanatic
diehard.
level?
Yeah.
Were we not, like, appearing on YouTube talk show levels?
No.
Okay.
Were we not good then?
Jess.
That's a serious question, because there were some years in there.
Fairweather fan.
It's true. That's
No,
true.
I'm not. But I understand if there's not all that hype on campus,
Trying to give her
it's
an
easier
out.
to miss
That's
it.
true.
Okay, so
That's
background,
true.
setting it up, not always a BYU fan.
Yeah, so really, Jimmer is what made me a BYU fan.
I don't blame
So,
Yeah.
anyway.
You and the rest of America.
I know. I mean, lots of people
It's true. It's true. But so my number 3 memory was actually in March of 2009.
Okay.
And it was the final home game against Air Force. And that was actually the first time I ever saw Jimmer live. And so some of my friends got some tickets on the front row. They were friends with one of the players on the team.
Okay.
Gavin McGregor. He was injured and didn't even play in that game. And
he had tickets.
no one really knows
So
about
don't
him.
feel bad if you don't
But,
recognize
yeah,
that
don't
name.
feel bad if you don't know him. But anyway, so he got my friends some front row tickets, and I decided to go with them. I'd been to some games before, but, you know, never, like, right in the action. And
Well, yeah, the front row is a different
Yeah.
story.
And that game was also for a conference championship, too, in the Mountain West.
Oh, good times.
And so, yeah, and so they won. They won the conference championship. Like, the players all came up into the audience afterward, like, right on the row where we were, and cheering, passing the trophy around. Like, and I guess that was the first moment that, like, I noticed A, BYU basketball is awesome. B, this Jimmer kid is good. Like, he's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
He was just a sophomore at the time. Like, not many people really even knew who he was.
Jimmer Mania was not at the peak yet.
Jimmer Mania had not hit yet. No. And so, but I kind of like to say that I liked Jimmer before it was cool to like Jimmer.
You're a Jimmer hipster.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my number 3. Okay, so number 2 is kind of an obvious one. San Diego State.
Oh my gosh.
Jimmer's senior year.
That's your number 2?
Yes.
Oh, man, I'm excited for
I think I might know what number 1 is.
So that's number 2. It was actually played on my mom's birthday.
What?
And so I said, sorry, Mom, I'm going to the game.
Yeah.
I was in line. I got in line, I think, about 3 o'clock. The game didn't start till 8, so I was in line for like 5 hours, and I think I was like 2 or 3 rows from the top.
But just being in the building that night.
Right.
Were you there?
Yes, was I there, please.
Hit us with number 1.
Okay, number 1, Las Vegas.
Drum roll.
Oh.
It is what I thought it would be.
Yeah, against New Mexico. So actually the night before, so I kind of have to give a little backstory.
Okay.
So my roommate Tracy and I went down to Las Vegas for the tournament, and the night before, we spent most of our time in Las Vegas attempting to stalk the players, because what else do you do? So we went to the MGM, which I think is where they were staying, and we just wandered around like the lobby and the hallways, just hoping we'd run into them, and we never did. So we had finally given up for the night. It was like 10 o'clock at night. We were heading back to our hotel, and lo and behold, there's Jimmer having dinner with his family, something. Anyway, so I don't know what they were doing.
Where? Just at the MGM?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was actually at Starbucks at the MGM. Go figure.
That's not a good dinner.
No. Well, like, that's why I said maybe
apparently
it wasn't dinner.
It was a really good dinner. Anyway.
Apparently, yeah, whatever he ate worked.
So we debated for a while about whether we wanted to interrupt him, but I think he finally saw us, and like TJ, his brother, was with us, him, and saw us, and we're wearing Jimmer shirts, so of course, come on over, come on over. You could tell we were gawking. Oh. So we got a picture with Jimmer. He was super nice, and we said,
you'll have to send us that, and we'll put it up. Okay.
I will. And so, we said good luck. And then the next night, he scores 52 points against New Mexico. We're at the game. I take full credit.
Coincidence?
So,
I don't think so.
There's also, in the picture that we took with him, so I'll send it to you so you can post, there's actually a little 32 in the background. Like,
what kind of omen is that?
It says 32 cocktails, so it must have been some bar that we were nearby. But it was 32. So, anyway, it's pretty funny.
Okay, enough Jimmer talk for now.
Is there ever enough Jimmer talk?
We're going to move on to Talk of the Town. Yes. And the big thing that happened this week for BYU fans is the BYU 50 contest, whatever you want to call it, is back. Mm-hmm. So there's already been a few winners really fast. I mean, Tom Homo tweeted out about Arkansas that, someone said that, people were saying, where are you going to find fans here in like 5 minutes, or not even a minute.
I think it was less than a minute.
Yeah, less than a minute there. It was gone. It was claimed. So
yeah, so Tom said,
really impressive.
Thank you, Arkansas. That was funny.
Yep. So today's Colorado, tomorrow Connecticut, Thursday is Delaware, and then Friday is Florida.
Yeah.
And
Jess wrote a really good article about that for Vanquish the Foe. So if you're still unclear on what it is, what you're going to win, we'll link to that.
Tips on that
in our article. So make sure you're wearing BYU shirts.
Definitely.
And good luck. So this, the next thing that we have is that Ty Detmer was in Nauvoo. There's some sort of youth conference going on there, and we had Jeffrey Fuller tweet and say that he got a picture with the Heisman winner in Nauvoo at Bessemer Youth Conference. So I don't know if Ty is there for that. Just getting that fun in before camp starts on the 4th.
So Sweetie Satake, this is Coach Satake's sister again, tweeted out pictures of her and her siblings when they were little. So we got some baby Coach Satake pictures.
Look at him. He's so cute.
He's so adorable.
So yeah, that was fun. Next, we are a sucker for a good caption on a photo.
Especially Taysom and Tanner.
Yes, and this was one of our favorite pictures of Taysom and Tanner anyway. But Jed Pollock put a caption on it, and he said, when you crack a joke over the pulpit and you make the bishop and first counselor laugh.
Oh, their faces.
They could pass for that. I could see it. I could see it.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
We also had a surprise visit from Cosmo.
Yeah, this is really sweet.
There's a little boy that has cancer, and Cosmo found out about it and showed up to
the next day, I think.
Yeah, so cute picture of Cosmo with the Cosmobile and those kids out in front of it. So
that'll
very
always
cool
warm
when
your
stuff
heart.
like that happens. Yeah.
I hate to stick with this theme, but another little boy who has cancer got to have one of his dreams come true, and he got to hang out with Kyle Collinsworth and the Mavs at Summer League. And so Kyle had a picture on his Instagram. There's another picture from Jody Genesee, who is in Vegas covering the Summer League. His name is Parker, and he got to meet the whole Mavs team, and we love him because he's wearing a BYU shirt. Some other news about Kyle.
He will be playing for the Mavericks vet camp.
Which I think is just another opportunity for the Mavs to basically get another look at him and decide if they want to sign him or not. So decide to sign him.
Yes, do it.
That is our charge to you. This is a hilarious tweet that we got from Elijah Bryant today saying that he needs to change his haircut. And no, he's not Fred Warner. So apparently that's happening frequently enough that he felt like he had to say something. Happening. I mean, I can see it, but come on, I know, people. Really. They don't look the same.
No, they don't. Their hair's not even really the same.
So Fred kind of replied to that there too, yeah, but that's funny. But Elijah, do not cut your hair. Come on. Yeah, don't. I feel like that's going to be our good luck charm this season. Okay, a hilarious tweet from Mark Durant. Is there any other kind?
Yeah, so today, we're talking about Tuesday joint press conference. And he has 4 things. BYU invited to the Big 12. Mitt Romney announces his candidacy. Caffeinated sodas at BYU.
And, wait for it,
Jimmer signs with the Warriors.
OMG. I'm pretty sure all BYU fans would, collapse dead on the spot if any of those happened. Yeah, so all 4 of them. Here's hoping. Happy Tuesday. Good luck with that. Yeah.
That's... pretty much it for now.
That was it for Talk of the Town. As for what's next, it's, again, kind of a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, more BYU 50 stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
There might be more Big 12 talk, one way or the other.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
There's always Big 12 talk. So.
But this isn't really what's next, but we just wanted to make sure we mentioned that we've had quite a few players getting names to preseason watch lists, which is kind of like your off-season national champ stuff, but whatever, what are you going to do? So Tanner Mangum was named to the Walter Camp and Davey O'Brien Award, and then you have your running backs, Jamal Williams and Algie Brown, being named to the Doak Walker list, and then
Harvey Lange was named to the Butkus Award list. Johnny Linehan and Mitchell Juergens were named to the Werfel Trophy. That's for... doing good works, basically.
Yeah, well, good. They both do a lot of good works. So look out for those. Obviously, that's going to be a while. I think we are 46 days away from football season. We are counting...
We should count down to fall camp. I could do that.
August 4th.
That's a little more doable.
How many days until August 4th?
Still
we'll get back to you on that. Okay. So that's what we've got for today. So we're going to go straight into our sponsors. And our first one...
We are brought to you by McDonald's this week. Got to get those chicken nuggets.
More specifically, 10 of them. 2 double cheeseburgers and a large fry. And a large Sprite.
Sprite.
Jamal, we love you. Never change. And our second sponsor is Aubergine & Co., which is basically the direct opposite of McDonald's. And comes highly recommended at the advice of King Collinsworth. We'll link you to where you can eat where the king eats. Anyway, may you always stay loyal to the white and blue. For Jess, I'm Mary. We'll see you next week.